Nice. Everybody, thanks for joining for another episode of Getting to Know the Triangle. I am honored to be with Katie Kilgore, hearing a little bit about the Fount Coffee and their story, getting things going. So, Katie, thanks so much for joining.
Absolutely. Yeah. Excited to be here.
Yeah. So, start us off a little bit. Just introduce yourself. I know it's a joint venture going into this. So, introduce some of your team and tell me a little bit about maybe your favorite restaurant in the Triangle area to go out to eat to.
Yeah, absolutely. So myself, Katie, and my husband George, we own Fount alongside another married couple, Kristen and Sean Preisner. And yeah, we own and operate Fount alongside one another. It's a fun 4-person team plus an amazing team that we've built with our team members at Fount. And gosh, favorite restaurants. We love Stanberry in Raleigh. We also really love Hank's in downtown Cary. We live in
Mm,
Cary, so having Hank's nearby has been fun. They have a great draft margarita that I highly recommend.
oof,
So love the staff there. It's just a really fun place. So probably those two are our top two right now.
that's great. A draft margarita. All right.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
it is great.
that's awesome. Hanks. Well, we'll definitely all have to try that out. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, good. Thanks so much for introducing yourself and your team, Katie. Tell us a little bit about the Fount. I'd love to start kind of from the beginning, kind of the inception of how you guys came to getting that going and started, and kind of what that startup process was like for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. So began as an idea, just like every business does, and then really looking at a need in the market, specifically in Morrisville. We really
Mm,
wanted to provide a gathering space for the population there. It's also a really transient population with RTP, a lot of people coming in for work and then leaving. And we just felt like there was a need for a cafe type space. We really feel like food and coffee is just kind of this universal language of hospitality. Sharing tea together, sharing a meal together. Doesn't really matter what walk of life you come from. Sharing a meal is just this way to, forge a friendship. So,
yeah.
this idea of building a gathering space was the goal, and we are really passionate about great coffee and great food. And so those are kind of the means by which we wanted to accomplish this goal of providing a safe space for people,
Yeah.
and just caring a lot about what we're serving and the way we serve it. Something we talk to our team about a lot is just we really believe the quality of what we prepare and the way that we serve it speaks volumes about the people we believe, what we believe about the people on the receiving end. And
Mm,
we believe people are valuable and worthy of a great meal and great service. And we want what we offer and how we serve it to them to reflect that. And so we really aim for that like 5-star high-end fine dining experience, but in a fast casual setting to serve the people of Morrisville. So that was the
yeah.
dream. Then, we built the business plan. We looked at the market, the opportunities, all of the things, and then we're able to secure a small business loan and went for it.
That's awesome. Had any of you had like business experience or startup business experience, or was this kind of the start of all that?
Yeah, this was the start. We were passionate about small business,
Yeah.
in our own lives, and passionate about different things within the industry. But yeah, we all came from either corporate America or I was in graduate school, and yeah, we just decided to jump in.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, good for you guys. What how has so I know you guys obviously have a variety of coffees and teas. You also have an incredible food menu as well. Um, the avocado toast is just incredible. It's one of my favorites. How has that kind of evolved from when you first started
Mm.
to kind of the menu you have now? Is it pretty similar, or have you guys kind of evolved that based off of need or what you guys have seen work or not work?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. Our menu has stayed the same for the most part. We sought out from the beginning to be completely gluten free, and serve mostly organic, raw ingredients that are nutrient dense and healthy. We really wanted people to
Hmm.
see and experience really fun, delicious dishes that
Yeah.
wouldn't leave them feeling kind of gross after the lunch hour, but that would actually add
Mm,
value to their day and their lives. And so,
that's great.
yeah, we haven't ventured off of that. If anything, we've really dug deeper into that idea of offering, yeah, just dishes that are fun, but use clean, good ingredients. We try and also source locally where we can, and yeah, so we've made some tweaks over the years. I would say our baked goods in general have taken off in a way that we weren't expecting, which is awesome.
Mm,
All of our baked goods are made in house, and they're gluten free, egg free, dairy free, refined sugar free. So we don't use any like white cane sugar in our baked goods. They're all sweetened naturally with a pure maple syrup and organic local honey, organic coconut sugar, and so those baked goods have been a fun way to really be able to serve a population that has allergies that
yeah.
have been missing out on some delicious treats. So that, I guess, is a portion of the menu that has been cool to see expand in time.
Sure. Yeah, that's awesome. That's cool to hear. What I know you kind of mentioned briefly that you like to source locally when or if you can. What are do you have any like shout outs to give for some of your kind of go-to local people?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. The goat cheese lady, we get our goat cheese, and it's phenomenal. Uh,
Mm,
we do, for our honey, we source out of Charlotte, which is really delicious. Clover honey, they're really fun. We have little honey sticks too that we hand out, which is a
yeah,
kind of a fun treat for kids when they're waiting in line and stuff. So,
I love that.
um, and just kind of ebbs and flows. Specifically, our seasonal menu, when we build that out, we try and sorry, I said clover honey, I meant cloister
Mm,
honey. But our seasonal menu, when we build that out, we like to be able to, find people locally at farmers markets and things like that. Those more smaller batch items,
yeah.
um, easier to source locally too. But yeah, it's fun and something we hope to continue to expand on. The organic vendors are limited in our area, and so
Mm,
it's cool to try and seek out farms and other places that align with the practices we're looking for and support local. So it's fun.
yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it's great. I'm all for local support. So it's really cool to hear that's something that you guys are passionate about as well. I got to ask a little bit about the name of the shop, the Fount. How did
Yeah.
you guys kind of come to that, or what's the backstory on that name?
Yeah, absolutely. So fount means several things. It means a body, an entity of desirable, good quality,
Mm,
a wellspring, a gathering place. And as we thought about, throughout history, how communities began, because that was really what we were seeking to help build in Morrisville with some community. Um, we thought about a well, just a modern day well of how
mm,
people would go for their daily, water. But that's where relationships formed. That's where people met up. And so we really sought to be the modern day well in Morrisville. And so that's kind of the idea, source of a desirable quality too. Obviously, we try and be extremely excellent in the products we're producing. So that too, but also just this origin, this source of life and community for people.
that's awesome. I love that. Yeah, well, obviously nowadays our wells are just drilled and automatic everybody's backyard if you need one. But that traditional sense of a well is very communal, right? And it's also it's necessary. Like people, the city well was like where everybody had to go, so
Yeah, we
um
need our
Yeah, for sure. And I think the Fount is living up to that. I mean, I know I shared with you before, but my wife and I, we absolutely love the Fount. It's a Saturday go-to spot for sure. But it can get busy, so you got to be ready for a good crowd. You guys have a great turnout usually. So, um, share some, maybe as you guys were getting going, or just over the course of, that you guys have been open. What are some challenges that you guys have faced, either from the business standpoint or, logistically, whatever it is? What are some challenges that you guys have faced, operating the Fount?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the whole process in general of opening a small business is extremely humbling. Um,
Mm,
I think, yeah, I'd say it's just a steep learning curve, and probably trying to um, just care for people well. Every guest comes in kind of wanting the same thing, but also wanting something different, right? So we can check the big boxes on showing people we really care for them by engaging them well, answering questions on the menu,
yeah,
providing them a space to sit and enjoy their meal. And we always say, make yourself at home. Like, we really do feel like we're opening up our own homes to people. And so the hospitality side is, we just love it. That's why we exist, right? And I would say a challenge has been, how do you continue to offer that on a big, when there's a line out the door, or when it's busy,
mm,
or when the stay-at-home mom to the person working in RTP who just wants to grab a salad, for lunch and run back out the door. So really trying to meet people where they are. That's why we have the "come as you are" on our wall. Just this idea of, we want to be what people need, and it's a big endeavor, because people often want a lot of different things, especially with food and coffee. We are in a very customized culture. People can get it things the way they want it, and that is great. We're
mm,
support that, and we love that. And two, we have some recommendations that we like to give, and we have a
yeah,
limited menu, and we're a limited space. But all in all, it's a great endeavor. It's a high calling that we put ourselves and our team members towards, of trying to
yeah.
serve every guest whatever their desire is, to the best of our ability. So it's a fun challenge, I'll say that, and it's a rewarding one.
Yeah. Yeah, I cannot imagine how difficult it is to provide the same exact quality service to, you know, every single guest. But um, that's how you create a long lasting business, right? Because everybody needs to leave thinking how incredible the fount is. And I think you guys uh, are doing a really good job with that. And it's cool to hear that that's kind of your mission behind it. So,
Thank you.
and it's a good challenge to have, right? You want lots of customers, so it's not a bad challenge to have to overcome. But that's awesome. Well, kind of wrapping up here. I would love to hear, Katie. Since you're one of the four that kind of got the fount running, if there's somebody that's listening that has a dream or has an idea that they really want to pursue, but are kind of a little hesitant, maybe for similar fears or other fears. What's some advice that you have to them to kind of pursue that and get it going?
Yeah, that's a great question. I kind of hinted at this already, but really, this posture of humility, I think, is so important. Being willing to receive feedback, and being willing to pivot, and um, yeah, I think just having a willing spirit is also so important.
Mm,
Again, humility is just the word that comes to mind. To not consider yourself greater than who you're serving or who you're working alongside. Um, to really have this posture of learning and observing, and yeah, it changes everything. I think if you move pride out of the way, and you allow yourself to just humbly enjoy your work, pursue the goal, and be receptive to what people around you are thinking. And
mm,
yeah, I'd say humility and a willing spirit to do whatever, wherever the lowest task, is a game
that's
changer
good.
going into any business, particularly serving people.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I feel like if you have to be ready to accept that feedback too, because
Yeah,
that's ultimately how you grow, and that is that humble spirit that you're talking about. That's awesome. That's great. Well, Katie, thanks so much for sharing your story and
of course.
your team's story of getting the Fount going. It really is a beautiful space and a great product that you guys have serving the community. So I encourage everybody to go try the Fount and check out their coffee and food and beverages. But again, guys, just please reach out if you have any questions for Katie or for the Fount. We would love to relay those. And Katie, what's the best item on the menu that you think people need to try out?
Oh my gosh. Well,
You
I
got to
feel
pick one. You got to pick
yeah,
one.
I feel like you already mentioned the avocado toast, which is a
Yeah.
big one. I feel like our cinnamon coffee cake is a very popular, and
Mm,
it's a fun treat, especially because it is free of those major allergens. So
I
pairs
love
with
it.
a cup of coffee, probably the coffee cake.
All right. There you go, everybody. Get to the Fount and try that coffee cake. It'll be incredible. I know it. All right. Thanks, everybody, for watching and tuning in. There'll be another one coming soon. Thank you so much, Katie. Have a great rest of your day, everybody.
When you speak, angels sing from above. Every day would seem turning into love song.